everyone, welcome to Fresh Learning Academy. A quick warning. Viewers with short attention span, don't watch this video because definitely this video is going to be pretty long. This video is going to be long because in today's video we will talk about complete details about how to make a cover letter. It is not only about how to make a cover letter, but it is all about how to make a compelling cover letter. So this video is brought to you by Fresh Learning Academy, a place where learning never stops. It is rightly said that with a little flair and a lot of common sense, you can ensure you not only get a foot in the door, but an offer on the table for the job you desire. So let's start today's video on how to make a cover letter. Cover letter is like a movie trailer. If you compare resume to a movie, then definitely cover letter is like a trailer, wherein you mention in very brief about whatever you have mentioned in your resume. Like in this image, you can see that it is totally clear that this is an animated movie. So like this trailer gives you an idea what the whole movie will be all about. Same applies to the cover letter. So cover letter is like a movie trailer. Now let's begin. How is a cover letter a movie trailer? Now let us discuss about this. The cover letter is like a movie trailer because it is an introductory note. It is an introductory note about you. It conveys the objective of writing, like why are you writing the cover letter? What is the purpose of writing the cover letter? Now the question arises why cover letter is so important. Everybody knows that cover letter is a part where you introduce yourself. It is an invitation to the employer to read your resume. It is a standard business practice to send a cover letter along with your resume even when faxing or emailing a prospective employer. When sent by mail, a cover letter literally covers your resume. So it is known as the cover letter. Like cover letter is also an essential element for getting shortlisted. A cover letter allows you to target the job and the employer in a very specific way. Appealing cover letter shows professionalism. A cover letter allows you to target the job and the employer in a very specific way. Resume can be detailed, but the cover letter is a crisp and to the point, only hinting at the value you can bring to the table if hired. In today's video, we will cover what is a cover letter and importance of cover letter, elements of a cover letter with example, what to include in cover letter, what will be the format of the cover letter with an example. I will also share sample cover letter at the end of the video. So please watch complete video if you would like to get an idea about what a cover letter is and how important it is while applying for the job. Now, a cover letter is a one-page document you send to employers with your resume to apply for jobs. A cover letter's format is 3 paragraphs long and includes information like why you are applying for the position, a brief overview of your professional background, and what makes you uniquely qualified for the job. A cover letter might not be the most important thing to a hiring manager, but if your resume or connections aren't enough to get you through the door, a powerful cover letter would be what gets you an interview. So, a quick recap. A cover letter is like a movie trailer. Today we will learn how to make cover letter, Why cover letter is called a movie trailer? What is a cover letter? Element of a cover letter, what to include in cover letter, and why cover letter is important. So let's go through the other slides and find out more about cover letters. See what we have to include in all these sections. So let us start with heading. Heading will include date and contact information. There are two ways to list contact information on your cover letter depending on whether you are providing a digital or hard copy. If you are submitting a digital copy online, feel free to leave your specific address and just use your city and state along with phone number and email. Do not include the company and hiring manager's contact information either. Now let's come to salutation part. What you have to include in the salutation or so-called greeting part. You have to address the letter to the hiring manager. Start your cover letter off on the right foot by addressing the hiring manager, such as with a common salutation such as Dear George Thomas if you already know the name of the hiring manager. If you can find the name of the hiring manager for the role you are applying for, reread the job description to see if it is listed there or check the company website. It is also a good idea to call the company and ask for the hiring manager's name. Explain that you are applying for a job and would like to address your cover letter to the correct person. It is not necessary to add Mr., Mrs., or Miss since it may require some guesswork about gender and marital status on your part. Just use their first and last name, example George, Thomas. If you can't find the hiring manager's name, stick with Dear Hiring Manager. Now let's come to the third element, which is introductory paragraph or so-called opening paragraph. Now, the opening paragraph is your chance to catch the hiring manager's attention. Introduce yourself and enthusiastically tell the employer why you are applying for the job. You will want to make this paragraph specific to each position you apply for. Include why you are excited about the job and the company and how the job lines up with your career goals. Avoid making this paragraph sound formulaic by including keywords from the job posting and matching your skills to the employer's requirement. Introduce yourself and show how the role aligns with your career goals. Mention any current employees who referred you for the position if you have an experience. Now comes middle paragraph. Connect the position's required skill with your previous accomplishment. It is a great time to write that you have missed to mention in resume. Now that you have introduced yourself and established your enthusiasm, it's time to dig into your most relevant experience and talk about the specific qualifications and skills that make you the perfect candidate. In one or two paragraphs, make the connection between your previous accomplishment and your readiness for this new role. Think of these paragraphs as a way to pitch yourself and brand yourself as the ideal match for the role. Employers will likely have read your resume already, so avoid repeating the bullet points. Instead, include details that further illustrate those highlights. Now, let's talk about what to include in the closing paragraph. Thank the employer for their time and consideration. Close the letter with a friendly yet formal signature such as sincerely. Complimentary clause and signature is also required. The main goal of your closing paragraph is to thank the employer for their time and consideration. You also have the option of making any clarification. For example, you can justify any major gaps in your employment history. You can also use this space to sum up your qualification for the role and express an interest in continuing to the next stage in the hiring process. Now, last but not the least comes the complimentary clause and signature. Choose a complimentary closing that is friendly yet formal, followed by your first and last name. Closing you might consider include sincerely, regards, best, respectfully, thank you for your consideration. Avoid closing such as cheers, warm regards, thanks a ton, etc. because it could be considered too casual or affectionate. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Fresh Learning Academy. Now, as you can see in the picture, this is a format of a cover letter wherein the first section should have your contact information. Then you have to state how you heard about the job and why you think you are an ideal candidate for the job you're applying for. Provide specific examples to prove your skills and experience to show how you could be an asset for their company. And then last but not the least, thank the employer for considering you for this particular job position. Again, there is one example which will give you more clarity about what cover letter should include. So a header, a brief introduction, a opening note and a closing note. So these are very important elements while you are creating or drafting your compelling cover letter. So please go through this slide. Remember, if you are providing a hard copy of your cover letter, make sure to handwrite your signature and your full name. Now, this is a sample you can go through. Like this is a very simple cover letter sample wherein we have mentioned the contact details, recipient contact information, subject, greeting, introduction, main body, relevant work and experience, and conclusion. Before that, a quick recap about what a cover letter is. So now you know that a cover letter is a one-page document you send to employers with your resume to apply for jobs. Typically, a cover letter's format is 3 paragraphs long and include information like why you are applying for the position, a brief overview of your professional background, and what makes you uniquely qualified for the job. While some employers might require a cover letter to apply, others might make it optional or exclude it from your application entirely. So many a times there may be a chance you are not asked to provide the cover letter. Now, the magic words you can include in your cover letter. Two magic words can attract job interviews like a magnet cover letter. Now we will see the two samples of such kind of magic words and then we will see how it create a difference. But first I'm going to tell you and I'm going to present you with some cover letter sample that put these two magic words to work so you can see exactly how to use them in your own cover letter. So now as you can see, the opening line is dear, it is a salutation, and after that in the opening itself it is mentioned in yellow color. You can see that thank you for taking your valuable time to read my cover letter. Also in closing it is mentioned that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to express my interest in the position. In closing again you can say that I really appreciate. And you can always include this magic word to create a compelling cover letter. Remember, creating compelling cover letter is not a rocket science. With a little flair and a lot of common sense, you can ensure not only to get a foot in the door, but an offer on the table for the job you desire, as I have mentioned earlier in this slide. Now, let us talk about the font. When it comes to font, keep it simple and professional. Choose a basic clear font like Arial, Calibri, Vadana or something similar. Avoid using fancy or decorative fonts. Many employers use applicant tracking system software that allows automated sorting of job applications based on specific keywords, skills, job titles or other field. Complicated fonts can make it harder for the software to read your letter, which might prevent your application from moving forward. So, use 10 and 12 font size for easy reading. Anything smaller and you will leave the hiring manager squinting. Anything larger and your letter will look unprofessional. So, in general, you should use the same font and font size that you used in your resume. Remember about the spacing. Good spacing is essential for your cover letter. White space in the right places will make it easier for the hiring manager to read quickly. So you have to follow these guidelines. Make your cover letter single spaced. Add a space between each section, like contact information, salutation, opening paragraph, middle paragraph, closing paragraph, and complimentary closing. There is no need to indent any of your paragraphs. Now, what will be the length of cover letter? Keep your cover letter to a single page made up of 3 paragraphs, as you can see in the slide. Before doing this, however, always ask yourself if you can communicate the essential information in less words. Keep in mind about the margins and alignment. Align your text to the left and use standard 1-inch margins on all sides. If your letter is spelling off onto a second page, first reread and see if there's anything you can cut out, if there is something extra which could be edited or omitted. If you can't cut anything, you can consider shrinking the margins, but avoid going smaller than that so your cover letter doesn't look squished on the page. Now, keep in mind about the file format. Since an applicant tracking system may be parsing your cover letter, make sure you save your document in a compatible file format. It could be a doc or a PDF. An applicant tracking system is a software that companies typically use to keep track of candidates that apply for job at their companies. So these are the key takeaways you have to keep in mind. It is about the font, it is about the element, spacing, length, margin, and file format. Don't forget to proofread once you have created your cover letter. Additional tips from Fresh Learning Academy would be that you have to highlight the right experiences. You don't have to forget to showcase your skill, which will make you set apart from other candidates and other cover letters. Keep your cover letter short and sweet yet compelling. You have to finish it strong. Give your cover letter a unique visual format. Last but not the least, always proofread your cover letter for any errors and have your friends, your mentors, your soft skill trainer, and family read through the cover letter so that they can find out any mistakes if it has been left. So, if you take the time to write a cover letter, don't mention to drop in comment box about how was your experience. So if you talk about the cover letter format and cover letter writing, it is very simple. So don't get panicked because it is not a rocket science. So this was all about cover letter. Don't forget to check upcoming video on how to write thank you letter. So stay tuned and keep on watching Fresh Learning Academy. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Love to all learners. Keep learning, stay safe, and yes, all your love matters. So, thank you so much as we have 600 plus subscriber right now. Thank you, stay blessed, and stay happy.